Yeah.
But have you encountered any like kind of like loyal fans who might not be so receptive to your new music? Like, is that
Difficult
kind of
to know, really,
frustrating?
because people that aren't receptive to it, they kind of just don't buy it, don't turn up, you don't see them anymore. So I don't know, really. This album is selling a bit more than the last one, and that sold a bit more than the one before that, right back to 92. I did a really bad album, and every album I've done since then has sold a little bit more than the one before. So in general, things would appear to be on, slowly improving over the years, although it is slow. So I'm not trying to make any great claims for it at all, but there is a steady upward trend rather than downward, which it was up until 1992. Whether that's new people coming in, which I think it is actually, especially in Britain, or whether that's older fans staying with me, I'm not sure.
Are you getting like more audience in America as opposed to in England, or is it just
England is still probably Britain.
like you're bigger in Britain than you are in America?
Yeah, definitely.
Also, do you have like any crazy fans? Like I heard something like you were sent like little bullets in the mail or something like that.
Yeah, a long time ago. Yeah, I used to get all kinds of horrible things sent in the post. My mum had a petrol bomb put under her car once, so that was pretty heavy. Yeah, but there's been all kinds of weird shit.
That's kind of strange. I didn't know that happens. I mean, it just seems to be happening a lot to you.
Only once. It happened to my mum.
No, but I think I read something about someone sending some bullets in the mail, like
yeah,
a
that was
bullet.
1981.
That was in the very
early days. Yeah. You think about it. You've just become famous in England. Not here, but in England, I was massively successful. I mean, we I was number one for 4 weeks and number one again after that with albums, and it was just massive, absolutely massive. And there are going to be, in a small country like that, a few people that get annoyed by that, either because their girlfriend puts your poster on the wall, or whatever it might be. You're always going to get a few people who are either just stupid people anyway, or get drunk, or whatever it might be, and just decide that they're going to have a little go at you. And so they send you death threats, and they send you shit in the post, and all the rubbish things that small-minded little people do. So I don't think it was peculiar to me. I think it probably happens to quite a lot of people. Not everyone, but quite a lot of people. It just breeds a certain level of resentment.
Yeah, a lot of people resent artists. Even people that are not so famous get stalked too.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So, anyway, also you always described yourself like, you said you wore a lot of makeup on the show to cover your spots and everything like that. You described yourself to be some kind of horse, like with teeth hanging out and your lower lip. Why? You don't look at all like that in real life. I mean, that was just a certainly strange description of yourself.
Well, that's how I felt about it, though. I mean, I got big teeth at the front, and I used to have spots.
Really? Right now, you still do?
Yeah, I used to. I'm chipped now. I've chipped him twice on this last tour. I keep cracking myself in the face with a microphone. Done that one.
I think my teeth are bigger than yours.
Oh, well.
Anyway.
We're all embarrassed by certain things, aren't we?
Well.
That was mine. My big teeth and my spots. So I wore makeup.
Well, it's all gone now, so there are no spots on Gary's face, if anyone is wondering. Unless I take the camera and do a close-up.
No, I'm all right, no. But I'm quite old now, so. You don't get so spotty when you're old.
I don't think you're that old. I mean, you're certainly not like 80 years old.
No, not 80. No.
So.
Well on the way, though.
You're on the way to being 80? In another 10 years, you're going to be 80.
No, just look that old. I'm 48 now, so when I'm getting there.
Well, maybe your parents might be a little bit older, but I don't think you look old like that. Everyone gets old eventually, unless they die. Unless you die today.
Yeah, well, hopefully not.
Strange. So, how has the press coverage been for your new album? Are you getting press coverage in the U.S.? Have you been on any TV shows in the U.S.?
Don't think so. Yeah, no, I did a few in Canada.
In Canada?
Yeah, Canada was quite good actually.
Oh.
So that was cool. I don't think I've done any here yet. I don't know if the videos are getting shown or anything like that.
But not any major TV studio or anything
no,
like that?
No.
Oh.
I'm not nowhere near successful enough for them to be interested in me, I don't think.
Well,
I'm a cult. I'm
Well,
a small cult.
have you seen what they'll go after anyway? Why would you want to be stuck in between some sort of? You mean like MTV or VH1 or something like that?
Well, the reason for being stuck in between whoever.
Well, I mean, those people you're stuck in, whoever, are not always very good.
Well, they reach a lot of people. And the reason I'm here to promote the album is to try to let as many people know as possible what the album sounds like, what I sound like, and what I'm doing now. And these big programs are very, very powerful when it comes to simply getting you out to the people.
It's a lot of exposure.
Yeah.
But I think they might just want you to be a certain way or sing only one song.
That is true, and that's something you have to be careful. If I was asked to go on MTV and do Cars, then I wouldn't do it. The same.
Don't you think it might still bring some audience who might be curious to what you're doing now?
No. I think it would cement the opinion that I only ever wrote one song, and that I'm stuck in the 80s. Yeah, I do think it'd be bad, yeah. I've turned down more things in the UK over the last 15 years than I've said yes to, because they all had some kind of a nostalgia.
Like 80s thing?
Yeah. Going on, we had a program for a while called Big Breakfast, which was a massive show on every morning. And they asked me to go on 3 times. And I said no every time, because they wanted me to do something to do with the 80s, sing an old song, do a duet with the presenter, to do an old song.
Is it always Cars that they want you to sing, or what if it was some other song, like Down in the Park or something?
It doesn't matter to me.
You just don't want to have anything?
No, why should I go on and sing something old when I got something brand new sitting out there?
I just thought it would open it, I don't know, people would be curious.
No, I don't believe it does. I just think it cements people's opinions.
And then they just see you one way.
They see you as once you start accepting things like that and doing 80s things, then you are considered to be forevermore an 80s act. And it's been very, very difficult for me over the last 10, 15 years by pretty much turning down everything that got offered, to only do things that were not nostalgic or were not 80s connected in any way, and slowly but surely, and in Britain it's worked, become known as a current artist doing current things in this year. Not an 80s act that's still hanging on. So I don't do retrospective tours, I don't do these here and now nostalgia tours where the 80s people get together and sing 3 songs.
No, that's kind of stupid. I didn't mean like that. I guess I was just...
But it's the same kind of thing. If you go into a television program that 5 million people are going to see, why do you want them to see you doing a song that you wrote in 1979? I would rather not be seen.
You would just rather not do it at all?
Yeah.
No, I didn't... I guess I didn't realize that. I mean, they used to market that Devo as like a one-hit wonder with that song Whip It all the time, and they kept playing that song all the time, and I got curious about that band, and I bought some of their albums, and I actually thought their other songs were better. So, I mean, I just thought other people might be curious in that way.
I don't think it was that way.
But maybe not.
No. For every person that gets, yeah, I think it is.
Maybe it just was.
If one person would get curious and go out and buy the album, another 100 would go, yeah, I never wrote one song, that band, I didn't even like that one. You're stuck. It sticks you into an era, and you can't do it. If you're going to get out of it, you have to take some fairly big, you have to make some fairly big sacrifices, and that means turning down what appear to be very good opportunities, because those opportunities are actually counterproductive. You must be able to see 5 years, 10 years in the future as to how that's going to work out.
Oh, they can go ahead and make noise. Yeah. Because I have a mic. It's fine.
Yeah, it'll be...
It's fine because I've interviewed some bands and they were really, really noisy.
Excellent. Thank you.
So. Gosh, Big G doesn't look that big. I mean...
I like you. You could stay.
No, I was just asked, to speak to Big G, and I was expecting like a mammoth or something.
No, he's just big compared to me.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, so also it seems like you're pretty much doing everything yourself, even doing your own website and designing your own graphics for it and backstage passes, everything you're designing it. Doesn't that distract you from the music?
No, it's all part of it.
I mean, do you enjoy doing that? Is that why you're
That's why I do it, yeah. I mean, I don't actually think I'm particularly good at it.
No,
I like doing it, so that's why I do it. And in some respects, all of these things are part of the whole package. The way the website looks, right across the way the look of the album cover, the font that you use, the way the lyrics are laid out, the music, obviously. it's all connected, and all of those things we all have to belong together. And the only way to really make sure that happens is to do it yourself, really.
Well, that's true. Huh. But you don't do like the programming and the code that puts the T-shirts in the shopping cart and all that.
The HTML I do. I don't do the
HTML, the Cold Fusion
I don't do
stuff.
Cold Fusion, no.
Oh, okay. So, but you do update your website a lot and everything on your own.
Yeah, I do raw code. I don't even use these web editing software packages. Just raw BB Edit, HTML, just raw code.
Yeah, those actually mess up your pages sometimes. They put the graphics in the wrong place if you keep using too much of those web editing software.
Well, we see
Unless you have a really good one.
the website is fairly established, so pretty much every page is its own template. You just fill in the blanks.
That's interesting. So, you would never want to work with anybody?
Musically?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know on this new album you worked with somebody called Aid Fenton. I mean, I just thought it was a bit strange because you don't normally work with anyone. How was that?
Well, no, I've worked with producers off and on in the past. Aid produced it with me. And the album before that, I worked with a band called Sulphur, two boys from a band called Sulphur, in very much the same way. So I don't always do it, but it's not unknown for me to work with sort of co-producer people as well. But I think of maybe four or five albums out of the 20 or so, whatever it is, that I've made. So it is rarer, but I do it.
But you just prefer to work alone? I mean, it's in terms of...
I don't have any people skills. No, I don't interact well at all. So I have no tact. I'm useless at diplomacy, so I'm not a particularly easy person to work with, because I don't understand how to get the best out of people. I'm very blunt when I'm speaking about things, and so I just seem to offend people and I don't mean to, but I seem to offend people. Yeah. But working in a creative environment, two people side by side in a creative environment, can be quite difficult. You're coming up with ideas, and if the other person is kind of putting you down, then not putting you down, but doesn't like the ideas that you're coming up with, ego comes into play, and it can be.
It gets kind of competitive, and then
a little bit. There are people that are very good at it, that are very, very good at being able to not use somebody's idea, but make them think it was the best idea they'd ever heard, but find reasons why I'm not in that particular. And I'm not good at that. I'm the opposite. I would just say that's rubbish, and that's not the best way to go about things. I don't have any people skills whatsoever within the music business or outside of it. I'm completely crap at interacting with the rest of humanity. I've got this Asperger's thing, so I'm actually borderline autistic.
How did your wife diagnose you with that? I mean, she must have been very observant.
No, she didn't diagnose me with it. I actually had problems when I was at school about it. I've never been diagnosed with it, actually.
Oh, I think it was just... No, there was just something on the web. I think maybe you should...
Yeah, there's a few things...
That said that she diagnosed you with it, and I was always wondering what that meant. How could your wife... I could understand it if she observed.
No, her brother's got it.
Oh, okay.
So she's very aware of it and familiar with dealing with it, and was brilliant, actually. Was the first person I've ever been with that actually made me kind of face up to it and start to deal with it and so on. So it's really, really, really helpful. And but she didn't diagnose me with it, no.
Oh, okay. That's what I read. But I mean...
Yeah, there has been some stuff written about it, and it's not all been true.
Yeah. Oh, good thing I asked you. No, but is it really a bad thing to have it? I'm just not very familiar with it. I mean, is it a mild form that you have? Or?
For me, it is, yeah. Obsessive tendencies, a very poor social skills, misreading facial expressions. I'm told, I didn't even know that, but I'm told we misread facial expressions, so are often misunderstood and misunderstand when we're talking.
You could get hurt if someone else thinking they're being mean or not.
Yeah, and vice versa, not knowing they are being when they are being. Just it's a very, very broad thing. There are many facets of it, so it's difficult to sort of go over quickly. And obviously, I'm only particularly concerned with those that affect me. But I am very, very obsessive, about certain things. I'm a very difficult person to be friends with. I have a strange ability to just stop and be very cold. It's difficult to explain, but and I'm a very difficult person to be with, and I'm very up and down and all over the shop.
Is that why you think the press and journalists were a little bit scared to interview you or something like that?
No, I'm not scared to. I just think I probably said a whole load of stupid things because of this thing, and arguably was misunderstood widely. Which
did you say that was?
I honestly don't know. You've gone back
Oh, okay.
nearly 30 years.
Personally to them or just in general?
No, just in general. My whole attitude and the whole way I put things was probably the reason that I had problems with the press. So I don't blame the press for what happened then. I blame me for what happened then. I think much of it was probably my own fault, with whether it's the Asperger's thing or not, or whether I was just arrogant and didn't mean it, whatever it might have been. I honestly don't know, but I really do think that 99% of the problems that I had with the press were probably my own doing, rather than being sort of picking on me. They were pretty unkind about the music, and they were.
But
there was a lot
were like
of
one of the
that
few
was
people that started out with that kind of electronic music.
Yeah.
It would be more critical,
Yeah, and I guess that was part of it as well. But it was probably true to say that if I had a slightly different nature and different personality, then I could have gone a long way to winning them over. But I just seem to alienate everyone. For years. It's much better now, actually. It's a very different situation now. But then again, I'm different. I'm older and wiser, and the whole Asperger's thing is less of an issue than it used to be.
Oh, I see. But now you seem to be dealing with the press, okay?
Yeah.
Have you had now any negative press?
Well, there's always going to be some, but in the main.
Large amounts or anything?
No, I have a very good relationship with the press now, pretty much around the world. I mean, things are not perfect, but much better. Even my album reviews now, I mean, I could probably count the bad album reviews on one hand. Where up until about 10 albums, I could count the good reviews on one hand. I mean, of course, 10 albums, so I had a bad time with the press to start with. But when it's so different now, it's so good now, that it's almost beyond recognition.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
I mean, that's good. You don't have to feel... Did you feel nervous with press before?
No.
You didn't have a problem?
No, I think I have an unfortunate way of expressing myself sometimes, and certainly when I was younger.
That must have been interesting. No, you just don't often see, I don't know. Well, I guess it must not have been fun, but to me it might have been interesting. But that's just me.
Yeah. You're just a horrible, weird little man.
A weird little man? Mm. Did you just call yourself a weird little man?
Horrible, weird little man, yeah.
Horrible, weird little man.
Then, not now, then.
What are you now?
I'm alright. I'm just
So it's good you feel better about
quite
yourself.
a nice little man, no.
You're a wise little man.
A nice little man.
Oh, nice. Are you?
I'm not wise.
So you're a nice little man as opposed to a
horrible
little man. Oh. Well, I think that's a good improvement.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
You wouldn't want to be nice to just anybody.
Well, first.
Well, I mean people, I don't know, who just after you for the wrong reasons or something, or want to get something.
You never know, will you?
You have to keep your antennas up.
Oh, yeah, but see, that's what I was like before. And that just breeds suspicion and cynicism.
You kind of rich before, too? Like, I mean,
well, when I was successful, I wasn't to start with.
Yeah.
I know I was successful and I was quite rich for a while, yeah.
But you would want to be careful of people.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, it depends, really. There's not much people can do to take your money away from you. They can be your friend through false reasons, I guess, but... Oh, my God, you're a cynic.
Am I? Oh. I'm just asking questions. I'm not even sure what cynical means.
You're offering opinions. That's not the same thing at all. You're a cynic.
Cynic? Yeah, I am cynical. I offer opinions.
I know.
I'm trying to brainwash the audience to believe everything I'm saying. That's what I'm doing. So I'm phrasing things.
When you first come into... When you first have when you get a lot of money... And I don't have it anymore, but when I had a lot of money, yes, very suspicious about why people suddenly want to be your very best friend, and why all of a sudden women that wouldn't look at you twice before suddenly want to...
You thought you looked like a horse.
Look like a horse. Women suddenly drop at your feet, and you think, really? Where did that suddenly come from? So yeah, you are very, very suspicious. But that isn't a very nice way to be, and it doesn't make you happy. And so, as I've got older, I've learnt that the best way to be is to probably actually assume that people are nice until they prove themselves otherwise. And so, just be careful, yes, but don't go through life thinking that everyone is out to get you, because it just makes you miserable.
Well, then you wouldn't want to be in this world.
No, you don't want to.
I mean, you want to live somewhere, like you just wouldn't want to deal with people at all.
I mean, it's not as if I have a big circle of friends, so I am still probably quite careful, I guess. I've got my wife and my band, really, my closest friends, and a few other people outside of that, and they are kind of my hardcore of friends, and I don't feel a great need to expand that too much. So it's not as if lots of people are coming up to me and I'm deciding whether to be their friend or not. It's not like that at all, really.
Well, not now. I mean, it's just whoever you've known from before. I mean, do you normally meet a lot of new people?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Because we travel a lot. We're traveling the world all the time and moving around a lot. So there's always new people in and out. But I don't know. I just become a lot more open, I think, as time's gone by. So I'm not looking at everybody with slightly askew or wondering what they're after anymore at all. Probably because I don't have anything to give them anymore. I'm not wealthy anymore, and I'm not this big massive rock star anymore that people might just want to hang out with. It's not like that. I'm none of those things anymore. So I guess I don't have anything to offer those kind of people. So that they don't kind of bother me anymore. And so I have generally a much sort of happier, less cynical time.
That's good to know. Well, I mean,